Okay, welcome my friends, welcome those of you who like my channel and who would like to learn something new. Today we are going, let's say we are performing the flight from Prague airport. It will be quite a short flight, but I decided to fly it without the VATSIM, so it will be no popular. But anyway, the reason is because I would like to fully explain our destination airport, which is Chambéry in France. It's Lima Bravo Foxtrot Lima airport, and this airport, this particular airport, it's really very strange and really challenge, because if you are flying with standard approach on Chambéry, which is de facto ILS runway 18, you have quite a steep slope, and the runway it's short, and if you are making circle to land, so you need to have the skills, and you need to be really a well-skilled pilot and well trained. So but anyway, we will go through all the things, and we will try to let's say figure out what is important and what is not important. So we will make it a little bit faster anyway. So in this case I will skip the standard preliminary procedure and standard pre-flight procedure, and we will do it with this way, that I will check it with my operational flight plan. We should have 84 passengers on board and 1.1 ton, so payload will be 88 packs on board, and we have 500 slash 500 because this conservative side is okay, even if you have low on fuel. And regarding to our takeoff weights and landing weight limitations, we have basically no limitations, and our minimum block fuel is 6700. So in case we are not successful during the landing, or we need to perform the procedure, so we can take 1 ton additional. So that means that 7 we can take 8000 kilograms of the fuel. Okay, so that's quite fine, and now we may start the APU. And yeah, I decided to make this video because I saw plenty of videos, and the people were completely wrong with flying to this airport. But it's up to their decision if they enjoy the flying and enjoy the let's say hard landings or landings within the nearly let's say approaching to the threshold of the end of the runway. And believe me that on Microsoft Flight Simulator you can very easily stop the airplanes, but in real life it's not so easy to stop the airplane on the runway. It's easy, yeah, the airplane can brake like hell, but even if you are low on the weight, and if the conditions are quite okay, so if you have tailwind component, let's say, or runway is contaminated, runway is wet, and you have full of the airplane, you will be really in a very tricky situation. So we'll put the APU on bus. We will quickly load the airplane as soon as possible, just to avoid the time and focus all of the important things which we have to go through it to the Chambéry airport, because it is I found that airport, it's really strange and really hard to fly. It's not that easy that it appears. So that's my opinion, personal. I didn't fly this airport, but I flew the Innsbruck many times, and Innsbruck is as well challenge airport. So I hope I will perform quite well. Cross fingers to me, and I will explain it. How do I perform this visual prescribed track onto runway 36 in Chambéry, because this is really, but really very tricky arrival and approach and landing as well. So it's not that easy as many people. Okay, I put there 1, 2, this one, and we can somehow land. Okay, if you would like to behave on VATSIM or on your flight simulator like a professional way, like real operationals, like 90% of people are telling that they are performing real ops, but they are far away for real ops. So in this case, be aware of the fact that if you would like to be really precise and really, let's say, professional, so in this case, I will give you advice on how to do it and how to perform this flight. Okay, so parking brake we have set. We just pre-selected as usual 1 to decimal 8. We are not flying on VATSIM because I realized that I need to talk a little bit more about the airport. So in this case, we will be disturbing on VATSIM, and once you are trained for this particular airport, you can fly it on VATSIM. I flew it on VATSIM several times. It was okay. It was nice French air traffic controller who gave me a chance to perform the approach in order to my liking. What is very important is the scenery. Please be aware of the fact that if you set up the airplane and simulations, this particular airport, because I bought the scenery, it has something wrong, so I set on Microsoft Flight Simulator localizer course. Okay, so this is the first one, and this is related to the flight simulator. Okay, so we could take position. Kilo Papa Romeo, we are on the stand number, as I can see it's depicted over there, 54 gate. So this is our position, and we are going to Chambéry. It's crucial, and it's okay, we don't have it over there. LFLB. Okay, it should be there. Invalid entry. Okay, so I need to double check it with give me please a moment. I need to check it with my Simply downloader, because I think that there is something in common with this situation. So I will delete it from here and from here as well. That's okay, and I will load it once again. Okay, now we'll try if it works. Okay, we have a little bit problem. So that's Lima Foxtrot, Lima Bravo, Chambery. So we need to put the routing manually. Okay. Anyway, I would do the steps like non-professional way right now. But anyway, disregard the situation, and it's not going with the right way. So, and we have reserves of 2, cost index 35 we have, that's okay. Cruise wind, I guess it was 245/13. So 245/13, like now, that's okay. And on limit page we can go with these values. Trim we have 6.7. It's quite okay for our flap settings. And I know from the flight plan that we have departure via Baltu, and arrival there. I will tell you right now. We can put the arrival as well. We have ILS Zulu runway via Pirlov and Salep 1 Papa arrival. Okay, and now we can put it like here now, and we have a straight in approach, so straight in flight. So that's it. That's okay. Okay, and I will close the doors. All doors are closed right now. That's fine and perfect. Anyway, we have to be on chokes while on starting the engines. So services, we can put the chokes, and yeah, we can check it from outside. It's okay. Everything is okay. So that's perfect. IRSs are aligned, and we have 1013. Engine out acceleration is 2000, but I am not putting it there right now. So that's okay, and we may start the engines. Okay, I will speed it a little bit up because this is not important. The departure from the Prague, and the important part will be how we perform the approach via prescribed tracks, and what is important there and what is not important over that airport. We are focusing only at this airport. start the block time. This was my first company I flew for, and we have 10 NGs or 11 NGs, and there was highly professional management and very high professional crew team, so I learned from them many of the things. So it was a pleasure for me for a fly with Skyrobe Airlines. So that's why I'm putting the videos with these liveries. Okay, like this one. That's perfect. And yeah, we'll put takeoff page. Okay, when the starter is cut out, starter is cut out, so we can put the flaps one over there, remove the chokes, and go for FMC Lex page, do the brief before taxi procedure. It's quite okay. Engine instruments are fine. Hydraulics are okay. And flight controls was checked. Recall. We don't forget about anything. We don't forget. So release the brakes. Okay. Yeah, I know that now it's realistic, so you need to press the brakes and it will automatically release the parking brake. So we are going for runway runway 24 as Prague. Is the usual runway for departure. Basically I'm not taking care of right now the NOTAMs and wind conditions, because as soon as we passed flight level 100, that means that we are mainly focusing on the airport, which are we going to land, because we have plenty of discussion things. Okay, we hit the man with the car. You are not allowed to taxi such as high speed on the apron, just on the taxiway, and then you have to use the rudder pedals, not the control wheel steering above the 30 knots. It's FCOM says, and it's really valid for us, so it's okay. I need to do it like this way. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Can we keep it rolling? Okay, we have stable engines, so press toga, master caution. Okay, that's PMDG bug, and it's since the Microsoft Flight Simulator X has the problem with this bug. I don't know why is it there. Okay, so we may rotate. So we have to put the gear up, and Just for enjoy and view, put the L now, autopilot be engaged. Okay, level change. It's hardly to me to switch to the older platforms, because as soon as we have two good airliners on Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is PMDG and Phoenix, I'm really happy with this situation. Flight level 400, and I forget to put it over here. It's my fault. You can see 400 and Chambéry is 800. Anyway, that's okay. So we can accelerate. So it's really amazing. It's really amazing. However, my graphic cards and my poor old computer with hardware, it's suffering, but it's quite perfect for me. So direct to Baltu. Okay, so we are on the Baltu. Transition altitude at standard, and we can put the V now, altimeter set and cross check. Put the gear down. This one as well, that's fine, that's perfect. And yeah, that's it. Airport. We'll accelerate, and we'll be talking just a little bit about what we are going to do, and the most important is to read the charts, but not the Jefferson charts. In this particular airport, read the National IP Airport Information Publication. So that's most important for us. Yeah, but anyway, that's... yeah, I love these clouds. It's amazing. Sometimes it's much more realistic than real clouds, if I can say it like this way. Okay, so lights coming off. This is okay, we can release the cabin crew. Watch the temperature of the cabin, it's fine. It's quite okay, we are accelerating. So now we have to take care of the airport itself. So the first is the general part. What is the general part of this airport telling to us? It is telling to us that there is special operational requirements which is valid for all commercial flights and non-commercial flights with seating capacity more than 20 seats. Okay, so if you're flying there with the Cessna, you basically don't care about the situation. But if you are flying with for example ATR or Dash or something like that, so you have to apply for French civil aviation authorities, because here is said that you need to fulfill the requirements on flight simulator training with the visual scenery. Then you need to send the application to the French CAA and just prove themselves that you are aware of the bulk landing procedures, engine fail procedures, performance characteristics of the airplane, and your crew are well trained for this airport. It is mainly caused due to mountains terrains, and the pilots should be familiar with the approach, misapproach, circling maneuvers, and departure procedures. Okay. So the responsibility to prepare all the documents is take care about the flight crew operational manager. What is the next most important? There is a wildlife strike hazard. I didn't see this sentence in any other airport. Wildlife strike hazard. It may be on Alaska, but not here in Europe. There is helicopter activity, parachuting, and runway 36 radar circuit. That's okay. And we are going to the part which is very important, because it says that we have a runway which is 1000 and, or let's say like this one. We are performing the circle to land for runway 36, and what does it says? That it says that landing distance available for this particular runway 36 is 1840 meters. As you know, the Boeing 737 is category 4C. That means that the minimum runway length available is 1800. So in this case we are exactly on the limitations. However, there are some expectations like skiatos and so on. So but that should be special improvement with booking capacity and special performance requirements, but this is applied for this airport as well. What is next important? Next important is that for runway 36 we have PAPI indications of 4. What does it mean? It does it mean that we are coming from the site where the city is located, and we have to be quite above the profile, quite above the standard profile. So it's short runway, and you are flying on the runway with a high angle. So you need to apply the proper technique in order to touch on the touchdown zone exactly. Otherwise you need to perform the bulk landing procedure, and that's what we are discussing later on. Okay, so now the approach. Arrival. Arrival is pretty simple. We are going via Salav and via Pinot, Colo Point. We can make a straight-in approach from Colo Point, but this is strictly adhering to the radar controls. So if you would like to go from Colo to straight-in approach, the radar services must be available. In case of procedural, we need to follow this track all the way down to Govina and to Piruf Point, which is our clearance limit point with publish holding, which is defined by 4 DME and the right turns. So it's publish holding, it's standard holding, and it's defined not by the timing but with the DME. It's mainly because we are quite near to the hills. Okay, so then we prepare our airplane for approach. So we'll pick up the ILS Zulu. Okay, so I will check it right now. We have ILS Zulu always pre-selected over there. That's perfect, and we need to pre-select it as well here. So 175. And ILS frequency is 109.5, 109, sorry, 109.5, and as well here 109.5. 5 we have pre-selected, and just in case CHAMBERY, so it's 15-4. Okay, we are approaching RVSM, altimeters are checked, wing anti-ice is off, so RVSM is checked. Okay, so next now settings will be this Charlie Hotel NDB, which is on frequency 346. And we can put it into the AFIS panel. Why we are putting this frequency? Because the missed approach tells us that the missed approach is basically climb straight ahead to Charlie Hotel NDB, execute climbing 080 and then 260. Now, this is the standard turn in case of term of IFR. Okay, procedure, and then rejoin the Charlie Hotel NDB, continue climbing onto 355 from Charlie Hotel NDB, intercept localizer back curves, climbing to 6500 at DME7, turning left maximum 210 toward to Kenzo Point, Govna Point, and N10 Pirulf holding. So, once again, misapproach procedure. Going to NDB, from NDB 080, then 260 and join back the NDB, and with the NDB back, let's say with the NDB we can join the back curves of the ILS DME 109.5, and then we follow the AirNav routing to Pirulf Point for another approach. So that's it basically, and maybe you will tell yourself, okay, so that's all. So what about the auto brakes? It's a really short runway, so I will highly recommend that to put the auto brakes to 3, and if something goes wrong, do maximum manual braking, and delay your takeoff, next takeoff turnaround. Okay, so in this case MCP we have set, auto brakes we have discussed because it's landing distance available very short, so we have to use auto brake 3 anyway. And the next things, what the now setting, which we have active ILS and NDB active Charlie Hotel. But what is important here? I don't know why I don't have the flight level 400 here. Okay, now we have. Anyway, here is one problem. As you can see, we have descent angle of 4.5. Believe me, in real life, if you have descent angle more than 3.5 and your airplane has, for example, tailwind or it's heavy, it's quite a big challenge to make potential energy, so to make kinetic energy into the potential energy. That means to slow down the airplane on the approach. Once I have this approach with fully empty airplane, just the flight crew was there, and we had a problem to stabilize the airplane. We need to put the gear down, and that's it. So in this case I will go via this point, which is India Lima Bravo 18, with gear down flaps 15. Okay, and the next point is do not press approach mode, because we are performing the circle to land with visual prescribed tracks. So just localizer and do it via vnow or via vertical speed, but I will recommend it to use the vertical speed in order to be precise with green banana to see in which distance we level the airplane. So this is briefly the chart of the airport itself. But there's a tricky situation, because if we are going to prescribe tracks which are here, are we following? It says that bulk landing at the runway end, turn right and rejoin point Bravo. This is point Bravo. So they assume that you are, let's say, like this one. If we are in the clouds and we are not visually see the runway, we are performing misapproach procedure. If we are fully visually and we somehow cannot manage to land with the proper way and we need to execute the go around, we follow the bulk landing procedure. If you would like to know what is the bulk landing procedure, please check my videos, educational, and that's explain it, bulk landing procedure at the Split Airport. Okay, so bulk landing procedure, it's turn to point B for another approach, and what is important, we are going to MDA, which is 1880, so roughly put 1900 feet, and it says somewhere over here, but I can't find it, that this part of the hill is really closed, and the scenery as well is really closed. It's not as it depicted on the chart. In flight simulator, scenery and mesh and elevation data are showing you the ridge over here, so we need to accommodate to this situation. And another point, do not overshoot this DME3 arc. So basically that's it. And if we are not comfortable with our situation, we may climb, okay, and we may start to make a steeper descent, but it will be quite a problem to put the airplane on the right way. How are we flying the circle to land? You know that fly circle to land, gear down, flaps 15, speed brake arm, start which is continuous, and flaps 15, and holding with checklist, landing checklist on flaps 15, and once we are on the turn, we will put flaps 25 and flaps 40. Why flaps 40? Flaps 40 because there is unpredictable wind condition over there. I will write to check what is the wind conditions right now over at this airport. But anyway, it's a really short runway, so if there is no strong wind condition, I will definitely go for flaps 40. Okay, so we have a wind, it's blowing 0605 knots, so that's perfect, because in this case we have crosswind, but there is a problem that we have thunderstorm rain and broken 3400, but our altitude MDA it's 1000, so we should be below the clouds. Okay, so it should be okay. And what was the QNH? I need to check it right now. The QNH was 1013, and temporary 15 gusting 35, 1500 feet of visibility, and thunderstorm glacier. So they are expecting heavy, but really heavy rain showers, which is problem to somehow manage it. So anyway, we discussed this procedure and how it looks like, and how we figure out what the procedure looks like. We always the fixed page is not mandatory page, it's advisory page. But as you are a professional pilot and you are following real operationals, in case of something happens, it is always essential to have some points there in order to follow them. So first of all, we create our own waypoint, which is point alpha, and it's DME2 from Charlie Yankee. So we put the Charlie Yankee and 355.2. Okay, so as you can, Charlie Yankee, it's this one. That's perfect. We can put it into the fixed page. That's we have it. Okay, we come back to the Lex page again, and from Charlie Yankee we can make track 135 slash 2.6, or let's say 3, because I think that it doesn't allow us to make any. Again, put it into the fixed page right over there, because we don't want to lose our references and misapproach. Okay, that's why we are doing this procedure. Come back to Lex page again, put Charlie Yankee 02, and now we have 175 slash 22. Okay, so slash 2, put it here again, go to the fixed page, put it right over there, and that's it, and you may erase it. Okay, and now if we scroll the database, we should have all the waypoints over there. So I will put plan page right over here and scroll it down, and what's important over there, but I will stop the flight simulator for time being, just in order to know. As you can see right now, we have all the waypoints over here. So in case of bulk landing procedure, we are proceeding to the departure end of the runway, climbing to 1900 feet, which is our MDA, and proceeding to Bravo point, which is this one, and again go back. And what says this chart as well is that do not overshoot DME3 arc from Charlie Yankee. So again, fixed page and put there Charlie Yankee and DME3 arc. Okay, and this is showing us that this waypoint, which is this one, okay, it's exactly with the turn, so we have to turn, and we need to follow the trend vector. And what we are doing during the downwind, looks like gear down 15, speed brakes armed, start switch is continuous, and cabin crew departure position, landing position, and as we are making the turn to the final, so we are making the base turn, right base turn, that means that we are extending the flaps to flaps 40. But Anyway, as we are on the flight simulator and I don't have the 3 hands, I will not put non-standard between these two waypoints, flaps 40, in order to focus on the landing. Okay, so basically that's it. And what we have to do next, what I would like to explain to you, I can't remember. Okay, once we are on the downwind condition here, or let's say here, we put another runway, we put their runway extension of 1 mile, and that's approximately somewhere over here, because this is 3 miles, so we can put 1 mile anyway, and flight path angle of 4 degrees and runway extension. Why flight path angle of 4 degrees? It's because if you look at the chart, you can see that the puppy is 4 degrees. So we need to keep 4 degrees of the puppy. Okay? So that's why we are making this procedure. And I tested once with explain, and that was really a problem with elevation data and scenery itself. So puppy was wrong indicated, and elevation data was as well wrong. So I will skip this and I will try to figure out with PMDG. So what we need to pre-select here is minimums, which is 1880, but again, it's roughly, it depends on you, and as was on the chart depicted, you may accommodate your visual part of the procedure to your liking. That means that you cannot strictly adhere to 1900 feet. If you feel low enough, you can go to 2000 feet, but be aware of the fact that you may have the problems with base turn descent. Okay, so 180 we have pre-selected, and now we are going to burn exactly 1 ton. So we have 52.3, and we are going directly for flaps 30 with VREF additive of 5 knots. That means that our approach speed, if you watch my previous videos, our approach speed will be 1 to 7. Okay, so 1 to 7. So that's discussed, and as I can check the last meter conditions, I will need to check it. LFLB. Okay, we have 8000 feet of visibility, thunderstorm rain, broken, CBs 1013. What does it mean? It does mean that we have mechanical turbulence from the clouds, and as we are entering to the thunderstorm areas, that means that we put 0.76 which is turbulent penetration airspeed, and speed to 80, like now executed. And to the descent forecast page, we may request the wind condition, and the transition level will be 80, and the QNH was, I'm silly, I'm pretty stupid person, 1013. Okay, So 1013. That's it. Okay. Forecast. Okay, we will see if it uploads, and data link config invalid. And we have some problems with it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We have basically no problem, so we can easily put the wind condition from our operational flight plan, and our operational flight plan says that wind in flight level 300 is 1930. So 300, we put 200, and we put 100 as here. And as I said before, it was 190 at 30, 190 at 30, like this one, and it was, the next level was 224, and we need to check as well the other minimums, because the sailing is okay, and I would like to check the visibility as well. 251 and 24. Four 1013, right over there, execute, and that's okay. I put it right over here, and 13, that's okay. So hydraulics, we have a little bit low pressure on A, and regarding to engine oil quantity, we have low oil quantity of engine number 1, so we have to take care about it, but really take care of about it. So I think that everything was explained with the proper way. So we have 80 nautical miles prior to toggle descent, so I will stop the video, and in order not to disturb you, because everything was explained, and we will see you let's say during the descent. Okay. So okay guys, so we are approaching to the top of descent point. I hope you like the Skyrob livery. It make one guys on flight sim tow, and I am really appreciated him to make this livery. I don't know how he figure out that somebody will be willing to fly on the airlines which are no longer active for many of years. But anyway, from my personal opinion and point of view, this is the nicest livery I have ever seen. It's just my opinion. So we have a little bit of problem. You see the clouds in front of us, and when I check the meter conditions, last meter conditions for from Lima Foxtrot Bravo Lima airport, it's basically sorry, it's basically tell us that we have wind 260 at 3 knots, so it should be better for us to make straight in approach, but we are training, and we have 5000 meters of visibility with rain, mist, scattered 3000 feet, and temporary gusting 15 to 35, and reducing visibility to 1500 with thunderstorm with glacier. So I'm not happy with this situation anymore, but it's okay, we can go down. We passed the top of descent point. So we can go down, back into, for example, flight level 200. We don't have the traffic controller with the level change, and I will check the med report once again, because I can't believe that this situation happens. Yes, it's 5000 feet. So okay, look at the chart and look at the minimums, and we have minimums of visibility 3000, so that's basically okay. But what I would like to point out is that as you can see, I am putting I'm really using the fixed page as much as is possible. It's not because that I am lazy, or let's say my situational awareness is poor, but in case of backup, in case of something is strange, and you suddenly, for example, lose your visual references, or if you are flying to Innsbruck, you have to follow the power lines. That's why I put Innsbruck NDB and course 246, because it tells me that, hey man, before this course you have the power line, so you just have to make turn to your heading 264 prior the power lines. Okay, so the fixed page, it's not mandatory, but it's advisory resolution for you, and believe me that it makes sense to use it, because once I flew from Milano Malpensa, and there was very simple engine out procedure, so I disregard it because I memorized it by myself. And what was important, that I put into the fixed page the informations regarding to standard instrument departure. And what happens? It happens that suddenly, just after takeoff, when we were on the climb phase, V1 rotate, V2 positive rate, gear up, and LNAV disappears completely. Okay, and that's why I was happy, because I fly with the heading select with the green lines, which it was depicted by the fixed page, and waiting for flight level 100 if something happens with it. If no, I will ask for radar vectors back to the runway, because we cannot fly without the L now. So that was a very lucky situation, and it was because I realized that to fill the forecast page is to fill the fixed page, it's really essential to do that. So that's why. So that was the reason. Okay. I put the turn inhibit. I will never do it, but at this time I will skip my personal procedure. Okay, we are approaching. We can put flight level 100 or 90. It is the first restriction via SID. So flight level 90, and we can put it into the V now. It's now okay, and may stop the speed brakes, and now you can see which problem we have. In real life, if we have the weather radar, which should be on the board anyway, during night it's no go attempt if you don't have the weather radar, but anyway, now you can see that the approach and circle to land will not be so easy as it looks like. Okay, so we are approaching flight level 200, fasten belts put on, as we have on. Now it's starting to be bumpy, as you can see, so that's why I put the turbulent penetration airspeed of 280. So on the first waypoint, Salef, Pinot, Colo, Luvop, flight level 90 or below. So that's why I put the flight level 90 or below. But the clouds are very nice and very cool depicted. But as I said before, it's much more realism that in a real life. So that means that if I can see the clouds like this one, it means that it at least the cumulus congestus. Even it should be cumulus nimbus. So we should have depicted on the radar over here. Flight Simulator has quite a good turbulence, but this turbulence is related into mechanical turbulence from the ground, and there is no depiction of the turbulence from the clouds. So I am fully aware that, guys, you have the add-ons to simulate the turbulence and head shake effects and everything, but I don't have it because I don't have so much money to pay for every scenery, every airplane to make a video for you, and I'm doing it just for my passion and in my free time, and I don't want from membership to have some money. Why? If you would like to learn something new, you can learn. If you dislike my videos, okay, you can skip it. It's up to you completely. So I will put a little bit of the tanks. As you can see, we have 200 kilograms on board, and we have enough speed, so we can go down with the speed brakes. And now you should start the airplane shaking because we are on the clouds, and the temperature is 17, so that means that we are not using any engine anti-ice. It's not needed anymore. Okay, we are approaching flight level 100. Lights on, a little bit warm up the cabin. That's perfect. It's quite perfect. Okay, we have enough path, so we can stop the speed brakes. And now we can go down to 6,500. So 6,500 will be pre-selected. Here 1013 we have. So altimeter set and cross check, lights are on. That's quite perfect. And now he should start the decelerate, because in this waypoint we should have 210 knots. That's why I was talking about that on the final approach point we should have at least geared down flaps 15 in order to avoid the airplane accelerating during our approach. Oh, now we can see the French part of the Alps. As you can see, we have too much clouds to be depicted. Okay, starting to make our turn to Irluf point. We are nearly to suck all the fuel from center tanks. That's quite okay. And my personal opinion is to put this guarded closed, even if you are aware that you will have the terrain warning. It's the procedure. So it has the function which alert you that maybe you forget to turn. Okay, so please start turn or do something. But in this case, for flight simulator purposes, I will switch it off just to avoid annoying sounds. Okay, as you can see, we are over the ridge, over the hill, within the clouds. So from this point we can go down to 5,000 feet. And at one point I will stop the flight simulator just in order to let you know how to put the other runway and extended center line. Okay. So I will stop the simulator just for this purpose. Okay, so we are approaching the deceleration point. So put the flaps 1 and again flaps 2. Flaps 2 is non-standard. When you are pressing the flaps 2, always set non-standard. Because the standard flap settings is avoiding flaps 2, but we are using flaps 2 within idle descent during the approach, but it helps decelerate the airplane without using the speed brakes. So flaps 5, and as we have below 210 knots according to the limitation, we can go to flaps 10. Okay. And now this is the tricky situation, because I tried to perform the approach and the final approach course was not available for me. He completely overshoots the runway and starting to turn to the wrong direction onto the back course. That's why it's very important to fly the localizer with the heading select. Okay, so we put heading select, start our turn. As soon as we have less than 90 degrees of the angle, we can put the VOR. Okay, and now we will see if it works or if it doesn't work. So once again check it with this 109.5, 109.5, that's okay. Okay, we have localizer captured, so we can pre-select the 175. And now what I can recommend it to gear down flaps 15, arm the speed brakes, in order to reduce the workload, because realize that you are, as you can see, it's raining. Realize that you are coming to the airport, which is basically the category C, and it's really tricky, and with these weather conditions it's quite a big challenge. Okay, so we are going down to MDA, and MDA is 1900 feet. Okay, so 1900 feet should be pre-selected right over here, and we are not, be aware of the fact, do not press approach mode, because we are going to make a circle to land. Instead of this, put the vertical speed, put it a little bit down, and watch the green banana. Okay, and this is our A point. Okay, this is the A point. Just right depict it over here. Okay, so we need to go down a little bit more, a little bit faster. And now we realize that runway is in sight, because we are out of the clouds and the runway is in front of us, so we are visually okay. But it will be a very tricky approach, very tricky, believe me. So at one point I will stop it just in order, because I don't have the three hands like God Ganesha, but we will need to reset our FMC in one way. Okay, so we are going down. This should be 2 nautical miles, but it's not precise, so just check it with this DME distance. Okay, and I would like to level up the airplane sooner. So we have 1000 to level off. And now you can see it disappears. Okay, so what we will do then, in order just to just for our purposes, we have altitude acquired. That's okay, because otherwise we have to perform go around, and that's not the purpose of the video. Okay, so we'll level the airplane on MDA, and we are waiting for 2 DME, which we have, so we may start to turn to this waypoint. Okay, and right now what we are going to do: departure arrival, runway 36, and runway extension 1 mile, and flight path angle 4 degrees we have, so we put it like this. That's perfect. And remember the inbound course 355, and that's we have it prepared. Okay, and as you can see, we are flying very low and very close to the terrain. Okay, so it's not good situation for us anyway. And remember, do not put the missed approach altitude 6500, because if we are making bulk landing procedure, we are going to point B, so it's this one after the threshold, and climbing to 1900 feet. Okay, so in this case we are approaching this point, so we may start to turn to another point, and as I said before, I will do it non-standard, and going for flaps 30 right now, just because I don't have the copilot here, okay? And as you can see, there is what I was talking about. There should be some discrepancy or something like that, so we have to avoid this hill, so autopilot disengage and trying to make the turn. And what we need to do is recycle the flight director switches like this one, and deselect the speed and put the misapproach heading of 355, okay? So misapproach heading is set, we have everything set up, and we can go down a little bit because we are a little bit high on profile, and watch the trend vector. Do not hurry up with the trend vector, okay? Okay, we can go down a little bit because as you can see we are high on profile. So we basically see the runway and we are good to go because we have 2 whites and 2 reds. Now we're a little bit below. Anyway, that's quite okay. That's not big a deal. I will perform to like lower. So again, we are back on the profile. Remember, this is the steep descent, so we have to be exactly on the profile. Okay. Okay. Okay, closing thrust levers. We are a little bit floating, but that's completely normal because we have flaps 40. And put the thrust reverse and vacate via end of the runway. Okay, we have some master caution. Anyway, we need to disregard all this situation, and we are successfully on the ground. Remember, it should be harder landing, but the landing should be made with the proper way on the touchdown zone in order not to overshoot the runway, okay? Still my problem with the joystick. If I press the mouse button, I will lose my control wheel steering, so I'm deeply apologize about this situation. So we put everything back. This back, weather radar off, terrain off. We start the APU non-standard, and this is the narrow taxiway, so we need to little bit make it overshoot, or let's it's called oversteering method, which are making the long haul okay, so now we need to put the stabilizer back to 5 units. Okay, it's approximately back on the 5 units, and in this kind of airport we can put the transponder to standby. It's already there. We have APO available, APO on bus. We check on the good quality. That's okay, that's perfect. So in this case, as you can see, I need to revert the weather conditions to from live weather to normal weather, because otherwise we'll lose the references of the runway and we need to perform the go around, and I wouldn't do so because that was not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video was how to create the waypoints and how to fly the visual prescribed tracks. Okay, so left side clear, right side clear. We start our turn. Okay, put the lights off and we can pick up the stand number 9, for example. So I hope you liked this video and you have learned something new from the video, and I think that's it. And there are a few things I would like to point out, but this is not regarding to real operations, but it's regarding to the flight simulator. So one thing is to have the proper elevation data of your flight simulator. That means the mesh should be okay. Another point of thing is to have proper scenery, because of some scenery the POP indications are indicated wrong. Instead of 4 degrees there are depicted 3 degrees. Okay, as you can see, this scenery is very beautiful, very nice, but I need to set the Microsoft flight course, because otherwise if I put the course which is from PMDG, it will deviate and leads us to somewhere which I don't want to do so. So yeah, that's it. Sometimes you can see the strange things on the scenery, like for example, if I am flying this airport on X-plane, I have display threshold with yellow lights, and it's impossible because you can enter the runway via taxiway November without any further problems. It's just the display threshold, and it can be used for your takeoff calculation, but on the scenery which I download from X-plane, there is depicted that this is just only usable for accelerate stop distance, because they have the yellow cross and they have the lights over there. So well, what I have to say to the end, I tried to make an outside video just to watch the landing, and I hope you like this video, and I hope you learn something, because this is really important. There are so many situations which you have to realize what to do and what not to do. I will make a short video with the Zibo mode, and there is the discrepancy in flight database, and I will show you how to handle with this discrepancy with the database. And please be aware of the fact that as much information you put into your FMC, descent forecast page, fixed page, and radio now settings, the more safe you are. Realize that you are a professional pilot and you have 189 passengers, or let's say with this 737-700 148 packs behind you, and they fully rely to you and to your decision. You are the captain, and you are the right person to take care of the safety of the passengers, okay? So please disregard that I changed the weather, because I don't want to perform this approach, because it was not purpose of this video. I did some couples of video how to perform the approach, manual, automatic, bulk landing procedure. So if you would like to know how this procedure looks like, watch my previous videos, okay? So for the time being, have a nice day, and bye bye.